allowed to vote. So a lot of the voting rights issues are related directly to this, and people not having their voice and their vote counted. And now we look at the Supreme Court, who doesn't even care what the majority of the public wants. They're not elected, so they don't care. They're just operating like a monarchy. And I think we saw that with the gun decision. And that was I thought this is very alarming, what we're seeing, that there's the complete disregard. They're making a world for all of the elite people like themselves, where they have the Secret Service, they have the U.S. Marshals, they have all this protection, and they're sticking the rest of us in this. Can I swear on your show?
Yes.
Okay. I don't usually swear, but I think it's called for today. So, I mean, I swear at home, but I don't swear in public. But on, when I'm talking about politics. But I think that they have created a shithole country. Donald Trump coined that phrase talking about Mexico. Yeah. Well, guess who put America first and turned it into a shithole? He did. It is now a fascist country, a simulated democracy that is barely hanging on by a thread. I mean, we have this midterm coming up. Looks like Republicans are going to take the House and get total control, of the Senate. Right now it's split. So people always, Democrats have them. They don't really have an operational majority. So
no, they don't.
So we'll see if that changes. Those numbers do keep dropping. I mean, these January 6th hearings have kind of put a little damper in some of the pro-Trump candidates. You're right.
Sarah, I'll tell you something, not to switch gears, but since you brought it up, I watch every hearing, which is why I didn't do a show yesterday. But I'll tell you, Sarah, I anticipate Donald Trump, as Glenn Kirshner said on this show, he will be indicted by August. The amount of facts they have against him now is so insurmountable for him. I mean, especially after this last one. Now we know they all asked for blanket pardons.
Yeah.
Why do you ask for a blanket pardon, Sarah? What does that mean? Isn't that an admission of guilt?
Yeah. Whoa, oh no, we're just generally asking for everything we've ever done, just in case, I mean, that's what I do. I run around, I write my governor every day. Can I have a blanket pardon? Just something I came up with. Going through my day, I thought, hey, I might commit some crimes today. I might try to steal 81 million people's votes. I don't know. Could happen. So, yeah. But
Oh, I was just going to ask you, Sarah. This is why, because I was telling a friend of mine, a blanket pardon isn't going to work because you can't just pardon someone for any crime, any crime they commit, right?
Well, now you're talking about the rule of law. Do we have that here? Because, we're talking about the mafia.
Yes.
We're talking about the Trump mafia and the Republican Party that operates like a mafia. And they don't operate within the rule of law, although that is their logo, their little, or not logo, their slogan, law and order party. But actually they're the anti-law and certainly anti-order party. So my concern, okay, so I came with all this bad news, isn't this lovely? That I really think that the country needs to see Donald Trump and the people, especially who are in Congress, who swore an oath to this country, that needs to be addressed. And if they tried to steal our votes, which they obviously did, they need to pay for that. They've attacked this country. It's a conspiracy to defraud the United States of America. And I keep mentioning all of our votes. What about all of our votes? Why is no one talking about that? You can't just come in here and tell the majority of the country that you're taking their vote because you don't like it when you lose elections. But that's what they've done. So I am hopeful that some of the henchmen, his little mafia boys, are going to pay.
Oh, Eastman's going down. Trump's going down. Giuliani is definitely going down.
The only concern I have about Donald Trump now, maybe, I think he'll get, if the feds don't have what it takes to go after him, Georgia might well get him. But my only concern about the federal aspect of this is that the Department of Justice has the OLC. That's they kind of make these secret laws and talk about how they will run the Department of Justice. And we saw that during the Mueller report. You know, you saw then Attorney General Bill Barr himself installed in that office and never should have been. But he cited this OLC memo that you can't indict a sitting president, so we'll just wait till he's out of office, you know? Well, I'm just a little concerned because they don't share a lot of their memos. What else do you have going on in there? Do you have this thing where, you know, the president can never be indicted because, you know, Richard Nixon, remember when he said, you know, when the president does it, it's not illegal? And we're circling back. And I always want to point out we're bookended here, aren't we? By these two Republican criminal presidents.
Yep.
In just it was not that long of a span, really, of time. And over the time that Roe was legal. And two men who were in charge of committing crimes to keep power both went to the abortion well to keep their base happy, to keep turning out the vote. They're basically just using this religion as cover for crimes and to keep a base that seems like, I guess any extremist, they're very easy to manipulate, and they don't look for the facts. So it's easy to tell them, oh, you know, this is going to be great for you guys. And I can't even tell you the number of evangelical Christian women I know who've had an abortion. So they're all kind of thinking, oh, it's just liberal women who, that's not true. You know,
Of course it's not true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Carter, thanks for your $2. Thank you. Good. I'm sorry, Sarah.
No, it's all right. Got to say thank you to people.
Yeah. No. Of course, conservative women. That's what I was talking about. Trump had an abortion. Lauren Boebert now,
Right.
Had 2 abortions, and the people that put that out said, "Go ahead, Lauren, try and dispute this because then we're going to sue you because they have enough information." Oh yeah, it's Mudrucker. Apparently, they gathered all this stuff. So
I saw the beginnings of that. Yeah, they're all, I mean, but that's the thing. Like, I see the left saying, oh, you're hypocrites. And I live here among Trump voters, right? I know for a fact they don't care. They don't care. They're hypocrites. They've been primed to only care that white people like them who believe what they believe and listen to country music and collect guns, that they must keep all the power or this country will, disintegrate and not be the great country they think it is. It was never the country that they imagined. That's not what the founders had in mind for this country. In fact, I believe that we all know that this country was established to get away from a monarchy, and now we have a Supreme Court, right? That's
George. Yep.
Yeah, acting like they're a monarch, and Donald Trump acted like he was an authoritarian dictator, acted like a fascist. They loved that. They love these power grabs because they're culturally conditioned to feel aggrieved all the time, angry all the time, because being mean old liberals are coming for their rights. What have liberals taken from them? I mean, I'm honestly asking because I can't. Isn't it though? Because I can't. I've been trying, racking my brain. What are you guys so mad about? I mean, if you're mad that we want suspected terrorists not to be able to get a gun, like that's kind of nuts, right? I mean, why would you be against that? And if you're mad that some woman needs an abortion, really, that's your business? That's what you have to be mad about? That's the biggest thing in your life? That's crazy. Sarah, it doesn't make sense.
That is such a great point. And you know what? I'm glad that you said that because that's so true. What have we done to you that makes you want to do this shit?
Why are they so mad? I don't know. They're all so angry all the time. And they really seem to exist. And I've seen a lot of studies about this recently because, everyone was investigating social media interference and because of Donald Trump and bots and trolls and Russia and all of that. And a lot of what people were finding is that, conservatives went and made their own social media, but nobody's over there. Why? because they only enjoy trolling people who don't agree with them. They only enjoy harming, trolling,
Tell me about
harassing
it.
other
Tell
people.
me about it,
Yeah,
Sarah.
I saw what happened. I mean, and I get it. Like, I got really tired. I get attacked by these people all the time, and they're always attacking the way I look because that's just, they can't talk about the issue, so they want to talk about the way I look.
Beautiful.
That's, well, thank you. But sometimes they tell me that I wish I looked like Ivanka Trump. I'm hideous, whatever. And then other times, they'll just say like, you're a bimbo. That's a big one. And yesterday I was getting that about the gun thing. They take these pictures of me and start sending them to me. Bimbo, Pelosi filter. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I was like, I don't know what does that even mean? All I know is like, that's your only rebuttal to, no, I don't think we should have guns, concealed carry everywhere in the country. I don't want to live that way. I want to be in a sane country. I want to know that we can go to the grocery store and not be worried that we're going to be mass murdered while we're getting our cucumbers, like,
hey, Sarah,
the
little girl hit the nail on the head. That's the problem they have. They can't handle smart women. That really is the problem.
Yeah. Well, women that are not, they want what I always said this about Sarah Palin. They loved her because she is a patriarchal puppet. She says what the patriarchy wants her to say, and she's a little cheerleader for them, know? Well, I'm sorry, they can't handle when women do not always agree with them and have our own minds and demand and expect to be respected. That's never going to happen with these people. And, I'm sure Lulu and many others watching feel the same kind of anger that I feel about it, because I'm really tired of fighting, just to be treated with some kind of respect and courtesy, say at the doctor's office. And now there's this thing, oh, you don't get all the medical care. The Supreme Court says so. So you're a child, not a full person. We dictate your medical care to you. What kind of humiliation women are going to go through, as if it's not bad enough as it is already. Now they've got to go deal with all this and be treated like they're not even a real person. But we've seen this, the way they treat, I'm concerned about, obviously, gay marriage. That's coming down next. I'm just sure of it. They're just going to keep coming away and stealing rights from people because it's the only thing that they have to run on. It's the only thing they have to talk about, and it's the only thing that brings them pleasure.
Hey, Sarah, can I just ask you a question here? Because this is the kind of crap that I just see you. I'm going to start making a wish list of things I wish John wouldn't do. Do not comment on a woman's looks. She's telling me they're attacking her looks, so I just complimented her. About what?
I didn't. You know what? I understand people feel very sensitive about all of this, so you know what I mean. But I did bring it up, and I'm talking about people. I don't feel that you were bringing. I mean, I'm talking about people, and it does hurt my feelings. I mean, I'm a human being. I'm not impervious to this. There's days like everyone else where I don't feel so great. You know what I mean? And I'm more vulnerable to this stuff. So when people are saying this stuff, it is hurtful.
But I didn't know it was so bad to compliment somebody when they're being attacked for their looks.
No, I don't. I mean, but I think what's happening is that there are a lot of people who feel that any time a woman's looks are mentioned, and I don't say this to you, but I'm just talking in general, that it might make her seen in a different light, right? That it might make that come to light. Now, I see people attack Brian Stelter's looks all the time. I think this is just a cheap way that people have of insulting someone they don't agree with. Do you know what I mean?
They attack my looks all the time.
Yeah, it's what they do, right? It's like, because they can't counter your argument, so they come up with like, let's talk about the stuff I see, or they do it to Joy Reid. My God, the way they target Joy Reid, because she's Black. They just go to town with but it's all based on external things. And that's what you do when you can't make an argument, when you don't have a political rebuttal to someone's ideas. You just go to that darkest, dumbest place possible and start trolling and just looking for someone you can hurt. That's what they do. So I think it's.
But let me ask you something, Sarah, because I was getting like a lot of heat today from people on Twitter because I posted the 6 Supreme Court justices and Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump, and I said, these are the people that are responsible for taking the reproductive rights away from women.
Right.
And then they also, John, how could you blame them? No, it's not them. It's those people who didn't vote in 2016. I'm like, okay. So now I'm going to go back to 2016 and start blaming those that didn't vote that year. Come on.
No, that's exactly what I started talking about in the beginning, that I see all this infighting happening. And like, when, it's listen, there are a lot of people who didn't vote in 2016 and they do bear some responsibility for this because, but they are not the ones. It's just like blaming a woman for staying with an abuser.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Look, we are all being abused by this Supreme Court. They took this action. Republicans back it. This is their policy. This is their platform. They are to blame. The end, period, end of story. Now, if we could get everyone to accept that fact, finally, and stop pretending that Hillary Clinton was as bad as Donald Trump, stop falling for that crap, then we could get somewhere. And because they're going to do it with every Democratic candidate. They do it all the time. It's already working. I see all these, I guess they were polls taken of young people on TikTok, and they all think that Joe Biden is awful, and they won't be voting for him again because he didn't give them their free college tuition. And I just, I think a lot of that is being paid for and being manufactured behind the scenes. I can't prove that, but yeah, I mean, we've seen it before. Now, it does get then filtering up, just like the Depp Heard situation. It filters up to the big influencers, and then they are all trying to cash in on the gravy train of saying whatever it is that gets people to click on their stuff. So that is a real shame. But if we're going to talk about 2016, let's leave 2016 there. The lesson is don't fall for the BS. Here we are. People are falling for the BS, No, Joe Biden's not perfect, but he is working every single day. I get all of the emails, all of the pool reports. He works his butt off every single day for this country, and so does his wife.
And he's not golfing every day.
He's not golfing, and he's not enriching his family.
Nope.
They're not making $400 million, whatever that $1 million. So Kamala Harris is working every day. These people are busting their asses for this country. They are not perfect. They're never going to be perfect. There's no perfect person out there. That's no reason to not vote. It absolutely drives me nuts to have people still, what are you being taught, that this is some kind of candy store? You go in and you order what you want. That's what you get in your whole political party. Is this the political party that I would design if I were in charge? No, because guess what? We'd have a woman president if I were in charge. It's not happening. Do you think I'm bitter about that? Yes, I'm bitter about that, but I still frigging vote in every election. Yeah. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that we don't have.
My point, Sarah, is these 6 Supreme Court justices chose to do this. They lied under oath and said they would not overturn it.
Right.
So you expect me not to blame them? Really? Every news outlet is blaming them. Now, I'm wrong for blaming them.
It's always this reactionary thing, though, to like, we don't want to hold Republicans accountable. I see this all the time on the left. We didn't be nice because so-and-so. No. I just had this discussion this morning with someone who's always defending Republicans to me. And you know what this person said to me this morning? I can't believe they did that. I said, well, I have been telling you they were going to do this since 2011. We started tracking all the anti-abortion laws in different states in 2011. So this has been a long time coming. Of course they were going to do this. What did you think they were grabbing all this power for? Do you think these people, do you think we're all going to sit down and have a nice discussion? These are basically abusers. You don't have a discussion with a spousal abuser. They're not going to sit down and talk about how you can fix your marriage because they don't want to fix the marriage.
No.
They want to control you. These people want to control everyone in this country so they can keep all the resources for themselves. That's what this is all about. Democrats, not perfect. Plenty of them also dipping their hands into the pot. We could get into that all day long, but there's plenty of them who actually are not. Yep. And actually try to pass legislation that is beneficial for the people. And that's all we can do because, you know, we have like a, let's say our Democratic Party is, I don't know, would you call it like the center? Or are we even slightly leaning right if you think about European politics? You know what I mean? It's kind of, I mean, this is a crazy, we got Ireland and Mexico have more rights for women in terms of abortion than we do. So I think if we have been downgraded repeatedly in terms of freedom, global freedom, the United States.
I have an agent who's in Canada, and he goes, I can't understand that you guys have this gun problem in America. We don't have that problem.
Yeah.
You know, this is insanity. What's wrong with your country?
Yeah.
I can't believe that, Sarah, in this day and age, other countries are laughing at us. Not laughing, just going, what's wrong with you guys?
Right. They can't understand how we got here, why we put up with it. I mean, that's one of the things I have to keep explaining to people. We're not putting up with it. How can we explain this is supposed to be a democracy and people are voting and yet keeps happening? I have a hard time with that. I mean, I can explain how it happened. Gerrymandering is the number one way. And cult manipulation is another way, but it doesn't look good from the outside. It's really hard to explain to people. Well, you see, people care about country music more than they care about children being murdered at school. And they care more about wearing that flag pin when they go to church than they care about women dying. This is their religion. I don't know.
I have to say, Sarah, and call it a microcosm, but I got a couple of friends who are against abortion, okay? And they also say that a woman should be in the kitchen. Like, they literally say shit like this. Well, no, a woman should take care of the kids and be in the kitchen. It's like they don't view a woman as an equal. You know?
Right. Those are the people, I mean, not to insult your friends, but that's the thinking that got us here. You know what I mean? You know, I would say good luck getting a good woman like that. That's all I got to say about that. But, I mean, because what kind of woman, what do you think she's really thinking? Women are human beings. Yeah. Even if they go along with the rules you're imposing on them from your own, backwards beliefs, don't think she's not thinking in her head, a few very unpleasant things about you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's it. Women are no different than men. We're people. We have feelings. They're not all positive, and we have been trained to like put a smile on it and be polite, but there comes a time for everyone where you break and you just can't do it anymore, And I think that Republicans have done that with Roe today.
And that's why I was hoping so much that you'd be able to make it today. Because I'm like, because really, Sarah, I mean, obviously this is not good. Well, I guess it is going to affect, it can affect me because I got a daughter. I mean, she can get, God forbid, have an unwanted pregnancy. But I mean, for you as a woman, how does this compute in your brain? Like, how do you, how does this process go, Sarah? Like, how are you ingesting this and how does it make you feel?
Well, I'm absolutely devastated. I'm absolutely heartbroken. I might start crying. I'm heartbroken because this is a Supreme Court. I mean, we're taught to respect these people, even when they're the party you didn't agree with. I mean, we've all been brought up, most of us, to, I see conservatives aren't brought up this way anymore, but I was brought up to respect people who, went to school and learned so much and did so much to be on the Supreme Court, to be president, to be a congressperson, and to see these people think that I am worthless, that I don't deserve a say in my own medical care, that I should die because it makes them feel good to prioritize cells over me. That feels terrible. I mean, I lost a lot of faith in this country when Donald Trump got elected, and I started thinking, wow, there's like a majority of people who voted who think that it's okay for him to do what he did. He bragged about sexual assault. They think that's okay. It's really difficult to feel, how do we raise our girls in the world? What do you tell a child that she's worth something, but all these people think she's not? They don't think she has the brains to decide her own medical care. And they don't think she's even deserving of it. So I think that the moral harm and emotional harm that this, and that's what I was talking about, that I wrote about, the story, the piece that I published today, that is really, it's something you can't compute. There's no way to talk about how this whole collective of women are feeling. Women who fought for these rights, our mothers, our grandmothers who fought for these rights so hard, and those who have children who now, what are you going to tell? How do you tell your daughter, your 8-year-old daughter, you can be president one day, honey. You are a brilliant young girl. You can do anything. Can she really in this country? She can't even get life-saving medical care if she needs it, because these Republicans don't think she should have it, because it somehow bothers them. I've asked people who don't believe in abortion, why their belief has anything to do with anyone else.
Yep.
Right?
Why impose your belief on me?
Yeah, I'm not imposing my beliefs on you. I don't care what you do at your doctor's appointments. Why do you care what I do at my doctor's appointment? It is none of your business,
Yep.
And I will emphasize that. None of your fucking business. Back off, That's how I feel about it. I'm angry. I also don't want to live in this country. I think very discouraged. And it's not about this specific decision. I feel watching this Supreme Court get away with, Clarence Thomas not even recusing himself. He shouldn't even be on the court. He has no business being on the Supreme Court after what his wife did, try to overthrow our government, steal our votes. No, he should not be on this court. But they're just, coming in and turning this whole place into a dystopian nightmare.
Yeah.
And, and so a fascist dystopian nightmare. And so, yeah, what's funny that you mentioned your agent in Canada, because I started looking up the rules to immigrate to Canada.
Apparently they take care of their people a lot better than we do. That's for damn sure.
I just want to be not mowed down at the grocery store, and to think that the people around me aren't violent sociopaths,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm now, because I do live in this Trump district, and I don't feel safe here. I don't feel safe having political signs. That they were all damaged the last election, stolen, damaged repeatedly. So much so, everyone who was a Democrat had a Democrat sign up, had their signs vandalized so much that the paper actually wrote about it. So, because these people just, why? Same thing they do online. Your sign on your lawn isn't okay with me. I'm going to come and destroy it.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I'm not out destroying yours. I don't care. I want you to have your vote. That is the country I believe in. Even though I don't agree with your vote, I want you to have it, and I protect your right to have it no matter what. No, that's not how they see it.
Oh, Sarah, they canceled 2 of my stand-up gigs by threatening the club. And why? Because I'm a liberal. You know why? Because I don't believe in what they believe. That's how it's working here. It's we are
Wow.
heading for
Yeah.
we're going down a bad path. You know what I mean?
This is what I'm talking about. That's why I don't feel comfortable in this country. I mean, I'm sure I'll end up staying, and I don't mean this in that way that they mock online all the time. Well, you don't like it, leave it. Well, buzz off, clown, because actually this isn't the country that it started off to be before your crazy, deranged mafia boss took over and completely, decimated the country. So they want everything to be like they're turning Texas and Florida into. Why can't, and they keep talking about seceding, why don't they? Go ahead. Take this craziness and go to where you're going to go and do your loony crap. Have your little cult island. No one cares. Just don't come over here and inflict it on the rest of us. And you talk about, they always religious liberty. No. Not religious liberty. Because, the synagogue is suing in Florida, for example, because an abortion is something they view as a right, that a woman has a right to. So here's a religion that doesn't agree with this radical right-wing crazies. And what are the courts going to say now? Oh, we didn't mean religious liberty. We only meant the people that we agree with.
Yep.
What about the Satanists?
Thank you. I can never spit out ours, Sarah. Thank you, Roderick Berry, for the $5. Fear, main reason, scared to change, why they're going extremes in the worst way. Yeah. But I agree with you. Like, I had the Army Major on. I don't know if you know Richard Ojeda. He's a great Democratic voice, and he served his country, in like 4 tours. But
I know who you're. Yes, I know who you're.
Yeah, and he's like, John, I'm thinking about moving to Mexico. They have a nice little English-speaking, area there that I can go, and because this is getting crazy here. This is becoming an authoritarian. This is exactly what they left King George for. Right. That's what we're becoming now.
Right. It is. I mean, we don't have representation, and I think that's. I say that and I am getting, I'm upset today. So I do want to put the caveat on there to not dampen anyone's spirits about voting. We absolutely have the right to vote, and everyone has to vote. So it isn't about to not turn out to vote, just give up. That's what they want. Don't do that. Take your anger and funnel it into voting in every single election. I'm just saying that they have in so many ways removed us from what we're supposed to be. We're not, I certainly as a woman do not feel that I have any representation in the way that this Supreme Court operates. The Senate.
Sarah, how do you feel about Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski? How do you feel when you look at these are women who are okay with this? How does that compute with you?
Well, I, being a woman, know many women like this, and so it doesn't even upset me because I know what they're all about. And I think we talked about this a little bit a while ago, a long time ago, but okay. I'll just circle back to it because it can't be said enough. Women are taught from the time we are born to please men. And that's like society teaches, even if your parents don't teach you that, your religion is teaching you that, your school, it's a cultural thing. TV shows, movies, everybody's always telling you, and now some of that has just started to change right after the Me Too movement, but mostly this is what women are brought up with. I certainly wasn't brought up this way, but this is what we're told. It matters. You must be what men want you to be. That's what we're told. And I don't mean that anyone is overtly saying that. Of course they're not. It's just a message that comes across. It's implied in a lot of things. So these women, the ones that you mentioned, I don't know that I would say this about Lisa Murkowski, but the rest of them are women, especially Susan Collins, because she has a brain. yet
Yeah.
she still does this, right?
Yeah.
She's doing it because this is what men want. This is what the patriarchy wants. I mean, why is she Republican, right? At
Yeah.
this stage of the game, you're
I
a woman,
agree.
you're Republican. You know, I can't help you. I can't help you, lady, if you don't want to help yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I see. And I just see women that they're very, they have a lot invested. This is the whole belief system, especially if you're a Republican. Your belief system, if you're a Republican, is that men are everything. And if men approve of what you're doing, then you're doing the right thing. And they also get a lot of rewards for being the little puppet, standing up and saying the stuff that men want to say to women. So when you have a woman, like a token woman, to tell other women to shut up and stop whining about your rights, you know, these men they could not be more pleased with this woman, right? Ted Cruz, the muckrakers people said that he invested in Boebert's campaign, right?
Yep.
So
I wonder why, Sarah.
Yeah, well, I think we all know. And right, and so that's it, right? Because what do they like? Even without whatever people can say they think happened, we don't have to know any of that. Why did he look at her and think, this is the kind of woman that I want in my party to be elected? This is a crazy woman. Her, you know, business bankrupt how many times? A criminal record.
An escort, according to Muckraker.
Right. I mean, this is not a woman that the Democrats would be recruiting. You're not going to see that happen. Why did they choose her? Because she tells them what they want to hear. She sold her soul. She stands for nothing. Oh, sorry, I'm getting mad. She stands for nothing. You know what I mean? And so that's what.
Sorry about getting mad. I'm mad as hell, and I ain't gonna take it.
Well, I feel the same way. I know I'm really angry, but you know, kind of as I see this with people of color, I see this with Black people, but you know, something horrible will happen, and they seem to have this grace, right? I don't know where it's like, how are you, after all you guys have been through? I just think all this all the time, like, you fight for these rights so hard, and now, you know, voting rights being taken away, and no one can bring you water and wine, and your district doesn't even get a voting machine. And, you know, it's just this relentless thing. And I'm always looking at people whose rights are under attack. And I think, my God, how are you managing? But now that I'm one of them at this moment today, it's because I always knew this was coming. I've never trusted these people. I'm not surprised. And I also know that they derive pleasure from upsetting me. So I do tamp down a lot of that. You know what I mean? Like, would I be super angry today? I've been angry, you know, in the years leading up to this. So it's the same level,
Donald
right?
Trump got elected.
Yeah. I mean, that was a disgusting low for our country. But look at how many people turned out for Joe Biden, you know, and I think we always have to take heart that there are good people. Look at these election workers, some of them even Republicans, who did not go along with this scheme. Now, I'm not one to be, praise somebody for not doing something illegal. Is this what it's come to? No, but you listen to that phone call Donald Trump gave of him on the phone with Brad Raffensperger in Georgia, and the kind of pressure that he put on him, and he had all these other people get on the phone call and add to the pressure. It's such a mafia boss mentality. This is what they were doing to people who don't have, you know, they weren't elected. They have no one backing them. These little citizens all over this country stood up for what this country stands for. And I do get most of my faith in this country from people like that. Where did they find that courage? You know, it's amazing. And they saved this country.
Yeah.
And they're, look at that. They were threatened, kicked out of their own homes. They weren't getting any help. They weren't getting U.S. Marshals like, Brett Kavanaugh and the rest of the Supreme Court justices. Now, I don't want anybody hurt, but I'm really tired of people who are protected by the best in the protection business imposing this crazy world that they're imposing on the rest of us, full of violence and, easy access to every kind of weapon while they're dividing people. I thought that was so interesting. One of the justices today, I think it was Thomas. Oh, these people reaction to this. Roe is what divided this country. Oh, no, sir. You whose wife tried to overtake an election, don't lecture us about, our rights are your problem. Our rights are the reason that you guys are so crazy. No, I don't buy that. This is like the same people who said, Obama divided this country. No, your racism divided this country under Obama, right? Yeah.
And well, let me thank Becky Carpenter 58 for the $20. That's
wow.
much appreciated. Yeah.
It's nice of you, Becky.
Yeah, this is I tell you, Sarah, this is a sad day in our country.
Yeah.
And here's my other concern. I don't know if I have a transgender kid.
I didn't know that, but
yeah, who isn't a kid anymore, and he got married, just a small little thing, but they already implying they're going to make same-sex marriage illegal now. Right. That's next on the agenda.
Right.
I mean, we're going down a slippery slope here, Sarah.
Oh yeah. We've already gone off the cliff. Everybody just hasn't looked back yet to see what has all been taken from us. They've already stolen it all. I mean, voting rights, abortion, gay marriage. But when you look at, so what does it mean when you say people don't have a constitutional right to privacy? They don't have autonomy. Let's all just ponder, what does that mean? Who tells you that? What kind of government tells you don't have autonomy? That is not a democracy. That does not happen in a democracy.
No.
You don't have autonomy? What? This is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. It's immoral. And I have a friend who has a transgender, now grown child, but, much like, how we talked about the Trump kids and it was always kids, and there's not really a way to make that connection without using a word that kind of infantile. I can't even speak anymore.
Tell me about it. Easy for you to say.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm concerned. Yeah, I think that's next, and I think everybody needs to brace for that. And I think people need to, ultimately, everyone needs to be having discussions with the people in their lives and making sure everyone's going to vote. In every election, why the left doesn't vote? They don't vote in the little local elections. Yep. They only vote in presidential elections. Get off your butt and vote. It is not that much to ask for all of this, And
as CLH says in the chat, Clarence wants to take away your right to birth control. That's coming too.
Right. Yeah.
Sarah, that's coming too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's okay, so let's talk about, you said, well, this doesn't impact me. Well, maybe it does. Well, you know what? Actually, abortion rights do impact men. We need only look at Mr. Trump for that, right? Yep. Because he sure got what he needed. But I don't think that men want to be forced into parenthood because, contraception failed somehow, or now they're not going to be allowed to. The woman won't be allowed to use contraception very soon when they get to banning that, because it is next on, or one of their items on their little goodie list. But abortion impacts men. Men are husbands. Men care for women in their life. They don't want those women to die. And so therefore, of course, it impacts men. Imagine
and how about a guy whose wife is raped and gets pregnant?
Yeah.
He doesn't want his wife having that child.
Now he has to raise her rapist baby, right?
Yeah.
Imagine taking your wife to the hospital, or your partner to the hospital, and they say, the only thing that's going to save her life, she has an ectopic pregnancy, is, this procedure, which really is an abortion, but it is seen as it is medically an abortion, but it isn't an abortion, Well, we can't give it to you. We can't save your wife's life because Republicans have a religion that doesn't want us to do this. It doesn't want us to have the right to do this. This is what men are going to be faced with all over the country, on top of being, having to pay child support for, let's just get real. Sometimes all the things that some people care about is money. And so that's going to be an issue. I can't imagine too many men are going to be really pleased about that.
True.
You go to the bar on a Friday night and, maybe you drank too much and you had a one-night stand, and now for the rest of your life, you are paying child support.
Good point.
I know that it's still possible now, but it's much less likely when people have access to contraception and when they can get an abortion.
Yep. Sarah, please tell everybody where we can read your article that you just posted. And go ahead.
It's on Politicus USA, which I will spell for you because it's hard when I say it. People always, what? So it's POLITICUS and then USA. So it's Politicus USA. It's right behind me, but probably hard to see. And I think I wrote, I think it's titled something about the moral and spiritual harm that this overturning Roe is causing for women and girls. And yeah, I would love to have anybody read it who wants to check it out. And I think it's something we don't talk about.
What's that?
It's just something we don't talk about. But, everyone's focused on the medical right and the freedom right and all of that. And those are all super important. But I also just wanted to touch on the moral aspect because that's what they're using to take this away, allegedly. Yeah. So, we've been doing good coverage of the hearing. So if anybody needs a recap on that, and we always do the hearing live. So, come over to Politicus USA, sign up for our newsletter. This way we can't get cut off from our base and our readers by Facebook and all of the, really seeing like the corporate monsters taking over and trying to drive out publisher. We are one of the very few independent publishers left. We're a small independent website. There are not many.
Here, great piece. I read it, so he liked it.
Oh, thank you, Bill. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
See, you have all these good men. I mean, there's tons of good men in the country.
I got to say, Sarah, I have very smart people in this chat. I mean, they know what's going on, and they're as angered as we are. Is there anything else that you want to plug? I'm going to bring in the Army Major, but I do want to introduce you two before you go.
Yeah, just follow me on Twitter at Politicus Sarah.
Okay, now let me just have you say hi to the Army Major. Army Major, this is Sarah Reese Jones.
What's up, Sarah?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, and I'm just like you said. This affects me. I have a daughter that was born with hip impingement syndrome and scoliosis. Her spine is in a cage, and the doctors have already told her that it could be literally deadly to her if she gets pregnant and tries to carry a child all the way through. So now the Supreme Court just told me that they don't give two shits about my daughter. And let me tell you something. I'll take my daughter to fucking Canada, and I give two shits what they have to fucking say about it. And if they want to go to civil war on that shit, let's fucking do it. I don't give a shit. You ain't my child. I love my child more than I love their fucking ways.
Yeah. Well said. Are you in the South right now, or in a state where they are going
I live in North Carolina. So, and we're hoping that North Carolina is going to flip blue here in this election here. We'll see. But still, it's like, they just said yesterday that states could not, states had the rights to basically say, we don't give a shit what you think concerning guns. We want to do what we want to do. But today they said that states can't do that when it comes to reproductive rights for females. It's fucking a double standard. It's a double standard. And you know what? I don't give a shit. Stack the friggin' courts. Stack the courts. Put friggin' 15 friggin' damn Democrat friggin' judges on that son of a bitch. And if the friggin' Republicans take back power and they want to do a friggin' daggone, bullshit, whatever it's called, a race and add another 30, I don't give a shit. But if that's how we're going to do it, let's fucking do it. I mean, don't let them win. Fucking Joe Biden, don't let them win.
Yeah. I agree with you.
You had a very, you can see the Army Major is very riled up about this as well, which.
Yeah, which I understand completely, and it touches my heart. Yeah. I mean, and I, as a woman, like, I think there's a lot of men that feel this way, you know?
Well, you know what? It's the thing. You guys are saying things that are spot on that people need to understand. You realize that if you have a son right now that's friggin', of age when he can have a child, you better keep close ties on him. Because make no mistake about it, he may be a daddy at the age of friggin' 13, and he's going to have to be that daddy, even though he's not mature enough to be that daddy. Or you're going to have to raise those kids. And, at the end of the day, this is just, it's absolute bullshit. Our government is friggin', what the fuck, man? Supreme Court and all of those assholes, Gorsuch, friggin' Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, all of them said, Roe v. Wade is the law of the land.
They lied.
They lied. They lied. So integrity freaking matters.
Yeah,
Sarah,
they lied.
Can they be held for perjury now or no?
Who is going to do it? The Senate would have. You know what I mean? That's the problem. The Senate would have to impeach them, and we don't have a majority there. And I really don't think. I mean, this whole honestly, I don't know what it's going to take. These people, when I think about what you're saying, Brett Kavanaugh and Clarence Thomas, sexual assaulters who love to control women, that's what sexual assault's all about. They're the ones who just decided for all of us what we can do for your daughter and the sons that may not want to, they've decided. These men who have nothing but contempt for women, and they think that somehow this makes them, heroes of their side. There's a lot of men who actually don't have contempt for women, and they do not want to see this happen. I just think they've really underestimated this.
Well, and you're absolutely spot on. And I'll tell you right now, every friggin' female, except for these friggin' daggone, I don't give a shit. There has to be a base of friggin' Republican females, these old women that's already friggin' had their children and shit, that are standing on the side of Clarence Thomas and those friggin' assholes. But other than them, every friggin' woman that is of voting age had better be registered, and you better take your asses to the friggin' polls. We have got to there's two types of revolutions. There's a bloody revolution, and there's a peaceful revolution at the polls. And we need to have the peaceful revolution at the polls, because if we don't, then we're going to have a friggin' bloody revolution. Because you ain't taking my daughter. You can go fuck off with that shit.
And just as Nails by Sherry said, thanks for the $20. You're welcome to my couch here in Illinois. Our government just announced that we are a safe state. And that's what's going to happen, Sarah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's what everyone
watch.
But I just watched Ellie Honig, who has been a guest on the show, and he was saying on MSNBC that they're going to now try and make it illegal. Like, let's say that you wanted to have an abortion and it's illegal in Georgia. They're going to try and make it illegal for you to cross state lines and get it somewhere else.
That's why Joe Biden.
You're going to have to file waivers that say that, oh no, I'm not pregnant before you travel to another state. That's the path we're on. That's what we're on. Way to go. Thanks a lot, Supreme Court.
Yeah, can you imagine, so you're traveling with a woman? What? So we're going to go to this garden, we're going to some tourist place, and you cross state lines and you get pulled over by these armed, abortion police, and they want to see this woman's papers. Like, that's where we're at. Yeah.
Excuse me, before you board the plane, we've got 5 minutes. You need to piss in this cup, because we have to test you before you can go.
Yeah. That's where we're going. Yeah.
Sarah, what were you saying about Joe Biden? Are you about to say he said something about that?
Wait, today he spoke about the travel issue, and he was saying that he is absolutely going to do everything in his power from the executive branch to make sure that women's travel is not impinged upon. And, I think if that's a federal issue, you cross state lines, you cannot, they're going to try to dictate this stuff. The president has the authority. When you're crossing state lines, the president has the authority about travel like that. So,
Thank you. I did not know that, Sarah.
Now, I don't know. I don't want to give everybody it's not that, I can't imagine him coming in with police. What he's trying to say is, you don't even start this crap because there's going to, you F around and find out is what he's saying, because he's not going to put up with it. So, but I think that we are heading for, this is just another, so this is going to happen. They're going to try it. And then you're going to have this other conflict, right? You're going to have a violent conflict. You're going to have people getting pulled over and carted away even. And then we're all going to be focused, all of our resources on fighting that. Because, look what they always doing. They're moving the goalposts. Always moving the goalposts. Now we can't even see the goalposts. It's so far gone. And we're all going to put all of our energy into this.
As my moderator and my good friend Nikki B just said, Gavin Newsom just announced that California will protect women from other states seeking an abortion. God bless that guy.
There'll be more.
Definitely.
There'll be more. I mean, Democratic states, there'll be more. And I'll tell you right now, if the women don't get off their asses and vote in friggin' mass on this next election, if we lose the friggin' House, if we allow ourselves to lose the House, then we deserve this shit. I can't believe that we are sitting here today and we're looking at Gates and Green and Gomert and Biggs and Gossert and all these other friggin' shitbags, friggin' Holly, all of these jackaloons that are running for re-election. and fuck, you could use that, by the way. I'm sick and tired. How can we lose the House? How can we lose the House when the Republicans are running with these friggin' shit bricks?
Thank you, CLH 79. I'm telling you, Sarah, if you haven't started to follow the Army Major, you should.
I'm in now. I'm all in.
he is one of the favorites that comes on all the time because he's very passionate, and he was a state senator in West Virginia.
And I can see why the audience, I feel it. I'm like, yeah, speak for me. Why don't you, please run for office again. Can we get more of you? Here in Pennsylvania, we have John Fetterman, running.
Yeah, he's one of our candidates.
All right.
Well, Sarah, I'm sorry. Richard has his nonprofit, No Dem Left Behind. So they put money behind a lot of the Democratic candidates.
Oh, that's fabulous. I love to hear that. He is a fighter. And I kept telling people before the primary, it's going to go for Fetterman because people, this is what they want. They're mad and they want someone who's going to stand up and say, back the fuck off and stop getting in my fucking personal business. You know what I mean? And just stop this fascist baloney. Just stop it. And he is that guy. I would love to see him in the Senate and more of him. I mean, could we just carbon copy him? I don't know. Manchin's people put out a statement today. They said they wouldn't do this, and I believed them. And I thought, what are you?
Manchin.
Manchin. Like, I want to hear this from you. No, don't even, because you won't do anything to even give the filibuster like an adjustment. Not even over, just alter it just a teeny bit so we can get some shit passed. No, he won't do it.
Sarah, the Army Major here, when he was a state senator in West Virginia, and he knows Joe Manchin. He texts Joe Manchin all the time.
I'm doing right now. I'm doing on Twitter. Way to go, Manchin, you dickbag.
M. Bethel, thanks for the $10. Just a quick donation. Nothing to offer. I'm glad you are still fighting. I'm speechless and need to recharge. This is a kick in the teeth. Sarah, it's a kick in the teeth to all of us.
Yeah, for sure. I feel that way. And I mean, honestly, I'm so beaten down in some ways by all of this. You know what I mean? So I do like having people, especially men, because it feels pretty isolating as a woman to have all this, all this discussion focused on our very personal medical rights. So it's nice to see. I always thought this is going to impact men. And I really do like seeing men standing up and saying, no, this isn't okay, you know? And I have a friend who's a Christian pastor, by the way, and he's adamant that women should have this right. It's not something that most Christians even think. I mean, when you start reading polls, this is a very extremist minority running this country. What are you saying to Manchin? I can't say it. So what are you saying to him? Because
fuck him. He's a piece of shit.
She's asking what you're texting him right now.
Oh, right now I'm just doing a thing that says, I'm doing a tweet that says, save it, Joe Manchin. This is what happens when you play Republican light. The Supreme Court decision is part your fault.
All right. That is true. I'm 100% behind it. That's good.
Yeah, he messed up and gave me his private number once. I used to send him a middle finger about once a day.
Oh my God. Somebody has to do it. I mean,
he's a horrible person. He's a horrible human being. West Virginia, you know, it's the thing. West Virginia is one of those states that has had Joe Manchin and Shelley Moore Capito literally in power for decades, and we're last. We're last in everything. You know, the 50th in infrastructure. I left there. I'm living in a camper right now while they're building my retirement home on my property here in North Carolina, because I would rather live in a camper than stay in West Virginia and deal with this bullshit.
Well, why do these people, I mean, you know, the thing that's always terrifying is Manchin going to switch parties if he gets mad enough? You know what I mean? Because then I mean, that's really, so everything, people are always trying to walk a fine line with him to keep him on board for the very few things that he has done for humanity. I
say let him switch. Let him switch. If we lose the power and all of a sudden it all goes to shit like it's going, you know, that's his legacy. It's his legacy. And let me tell you something. These people, that they care about that. You know, they believe that they're going to be hailed as leaders, and then they make these decisions and they think that they're going to be able to get out, you know, because they blow smoke up people's asses. You know, you listen to Joe Manchin in any conversation that he has, he is an absolute master at diverting the conversation and basically not answering a question. And most of these jackaloons are.
Well, look at Mitch McConnell. I don't know the last time he's ever answered a question. He just turns it around, tells them what he wants to talk about, and gets all smug and walks off, you know?
But that's what they all do. But that's what they all do. Like right now, we've got serious issues going on. And right now, you know, the January 6 hearings are the most important thing going, and it is painting a picture that should be absolutely the end of these jackaloons. But the thing about it is listen to any of them. Jim Jordan, well, the people are just angered at gas, at the price of shut the fuck up. You know, it's bullshit.
Jim Jordan has a lot of problems.
Yes.
And, you know, I mean, he's going to find out about, I appreciate what you're saying about, because I think they're constantly told that if they just keep talking about gas prices and inflation, they're going to ride, you know, to the midterms. What are they going to do now? Supreme Court just outed all of them. So what are they going to talk about now? Who cares what you're paying for the price of gas when you have no freedom?
Yep.
You know, maybe
Betty,
it's going to come into play.
For the $5, now is the time for all real Americans to come to the aid of their country. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And you know what was so pathetic? Sarah, during the hearings, all Jim Jordan kept tweeting, oh, gas prices, oh, inflation. It's such an obvious tactic to try and draw attention away. But I'll tell you this, even some Fox anchors are starting to say, like Neil Cavuto, he's going, Donald Trump's guilty. You know, they're starting to turn on this guy now.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed that the Trump supporters here, I saw some flags come down the last couple days.
Really?
Yes. I'm like, it wasn't any of the horrible things he did while president. And it wasn't January 6th, because they left up their Q flags and their Trump flags. A lot of these flags are from 2016, by the way. They just recycle them. They don't get a new one. And so it's like they've left that up for now, 8 years, you know? No, 6 years. Well, now they're starting to come down. They're not all down, but I did see another person turn their Trump, like they've had these Trump, I don't know what the things they stick in their office, turn it around, you know, so you can't read the name on it. So,
nice. And Sarah, I think that's indicative of what's happening now, because 64% of Americans right now think Donald Trump is guilty. That's up.
Look at even here in Pennsylvania. Look in New Jersey where we have Dr. Oz pretending to be in Pennsylvania. And even he has taken, we're not actually in Pennsylvania. We're in New Jersey. He has taken all the Trump branding off of his website. Before it was all Trump, 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 Trump. I'm the Trumpiest of them all. And now he's all like, I'm a moderate human. I just want to sell you some fake COVID cures and some weight loss cures that are all baloney and don't work from my mansion in New Jersey.
Yeah, it was 1 in 16 people felt that Donald Trump was guilty. And the last I heard it was 1 in 5 now. So it's really starting, there's all kinds of stuff. And I don't know if you guys saw that, but you do realize that when Ivanka is now basically in the crosshairs again, because she basically said when she was, under oath that when Bill Barr said it was bullshit, that she believed him.
Yes.
But after that, she still continued to push it in fundraising videos and stuff like that. So it got her basically talking about everybody believes my father and they deserve to have their day in court. But, it's because it was for fundraising purposes. They're a bunch of friggin' grifters is what they are.
We saw her in the tent on January 6th, smiling.
Smiling.
I wasn't buying her crap in her deposition. I don't know who did. She had some kind of filter on so you could barely see who she was.
Yeah,
and there was this weird, marble bathroom background or something. It was very strange. The whole thing was weird, But I didn't buy what she was. I mean, she's never told us the truth once. So she branded all her grifting on she's an American mom. No, you're not. No, most of us are, sitting on $400 million that we got through our daddy's connections in China while he was president.
To 2.4 billion now that Jared got a couple billion from But one thing that I like is that, the last time that she went to a fashion event, she was booed. And,
really?
Yeah, she was booed. And the thing is
learning all this stuff from
that's
you
all
guys.
she wants. That's all she wants.
That's what's having you guys on.
She wants to be able to be hailed as this fashion guru. That's all she's ever wanted to do. And it's really great to see that people are basically telling her, we ain't believing your bullshit. Get out of here. Her and Jared should go down. Jared's a liar, acting as if he didn't have time to listen to the conversations at hand because he was too busy trying to push through, all these pardons. And I'm telling you, I hope that they take every one of those pardons. You should not, and I honestly believe that's one of the reasons why pardons can be challenged in court, because you cannot basically, if you participate in breaking the law with them. Trump can't pardon some of these people because he's part of that problem. It's kind of like how Lindsey Graham was giving all of his male escorts non-disclosure agreements and kept them all quiet until one day one of them found out you can't give somebody a non-disclosure agreement for breaking the law. So they finally come out, they ratted Lindsey Graham out,
Wow.
late
Thanks for the $5. Hi, Major. Keep it up, brother. And could you guys answer this question? Sarah might know this one. Sylvia A., thanks for the $10. Did you hear anything about Trump's phone call to Putin on January 6th?
No, I have not heard anything. But you know what? His phone, remember they tried to get his phone logs? I mean,
disappeared.
So there's a lot of the story that hasn't been told yet. I think that some of the people up closer to the top are going to start flipping. And and it's not going to be Jared and Ivanka. Everybody bought into that when that happened, when they gave their deposition. That they've been playing this game for so long and people keep falling for it. No, they're never going to change. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. They told us, day one, when she came in there, I'm going to stand up for women. Well, thanks, Ivanka. Look at us now. Nice job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
She did nothing to stand up for women, Well, she kept saying, I'm going to be the moderating force on my father. No, she did nothing but sit there and collect money behind the scenes and push his agenda in every way that she could. And now she wants to be able to run for office, so she's distancing herself. I don't even believe that they had that fight. You know what I mean? When he came out and said, she's she wasn't paying attention. And then people were like, oh, there's a fight. But no, they're not. I don't think they have a good relationship, but
No.
they're not fighting. They have all planned out their little orchestra, their little play they're putting on for everybody where they maintain power. One of them is always in a position of, sympathy from the public. They never manage a moment where one of them is not getting sympathy from the public, and it's usually Ivanka. So here we are.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you another thing, too. I can guarantee you that friggin' asshat that was sitting out on the damn curb early in the morning in his pajamas, Jeffrey Clark, because the feds kicked in his front door and went through his friggin' stuff, I can guarantee you that guy right there is just waiting on somebody to say, are you ready to flip on Donald Trump? And remember, he was the one. That's the guy that Donald Trump wanted to put in power because the other people were telling him no. These January 6 hearings are absolutely damning for Donald Trump.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, I think that this guy is going to try to find his way out of it by rolling on Donald Trump. People are going to start rolling on him, to include probably his own children.
He is the Jeffrey Clark. He was the environmental lawyer that, so how many attorney generals did Trump run through? First of all, he gets rid of Sessions. And 6 weeks, and then he brings on Bill Barr to handle the Mueller report. It was always bringing somebody new, lesser and lesser qualified, based on this audition piece that they put in, where they promised to let him off for whatever new crime he's being investigated for. That's the only criteria he's ever had for his attorney general, and Jeffrey Clark was one of those people. Oh, I'll do this illegal thing. And the other witness said, yeah, you're perfect for this job because the first thing you'll do in office is commit a crime.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He
Yes.
His whole 4 years was nothing but crime.
Sarah and Richard, isn't it amazing? Because I was too young during Watergate, but isn't it amazing that we are now watching? This is Watergate times 100. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, this is Watergate on steroids. Like it's not even related to Watergate because we're talking about an attack on the whole country.
Yeah.
So and I've been watching the Watergate. There's some. Is it on Hulu? There's like a series right now. Like it's diving into Watergate. I wish I could remember the name of it right now, but I can't. So I've been like learning a lot, and I'm watching it and going, wow, this looks like really quite sweet and quaint. Seeing this little break-in into the Democratic headquarters. It's kind of sweet and quaint compared to I'm going to have this whole country turned upside down, steal democracy, destroy the United States, and turn this into kind of a military, authoritarian, fascist, power grab. All with these people.
Thanks for $5. Have you guys heard of the people behind SCOTUS, like Leonard Leo? These dark money donors are behind this extreme court. I haven't.
I haven't heard of. I mean, obviously it's funded by dark money. I mean, that's how they got put in there in the Federal Society, and you can go through all the dark money. Just follow through there. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I think she was talking to you, Richard.
I didn't hear it. It was breaking up.
No, it's okay.
It's fine.
How do you guys? To me, and I know I'm not a fan, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually like Liz Cheney. And I never thought me saying liking Cheney would ever leave my lips. But between her and Kinzinger, they're doing such great work in defending our democracy. Right now, I'm not going to think about their past votes. I'm just going to applaud them on what they're doing now.
It's
you guys agree or not?
Yeah.
It's courage. Those two have chose to show the courage that this country needs in this moment in time. And, I will tell you, like I said, look at if you look at their voting records show that they're Republicans, they vote Republicans. But in this case, they have decided that, Donald Trump's attack on our democracy and our Constitution is bigger than that. And it's wonderful that those two stepped up to the plate. It is a shame that that's all we got was two. There should have been, and think about this. Immediately following the January 6th attack, there was quite a few people that were pissed off and were sounding like they were ready to do something. But that's the problem when you're dealing with a bunch of cowards. Everybody is so scared of losing their position. And let me tell you something, even on the state level, when I was a state senator, there were a lot of times when I wanted to push something and people would tell me, I can't, man. If I go with you, it's going to cost me. Who gives a shit? If it's right, do it. Right. The problem is we lack courage.
That's why I liked Adam Kinzinger's opening statement, because he said, I served in the military for this country. I fought for the democracy, and I was willing to risk my life for that. So I'm not going to worry about right now me risking my job to do what's right in preserving our democracy. I thought that was a very, very good statement. Robert Myers, thanks for bringing my head down. Stuttering John, you didn't hear that Liz Cheney today praising SCOTUS. Damn it, Liz, you didn't take too long to change my mind about you.
Well, as I said, she's a Republican. She's just a Republican that is showing integrity at this moment, especially against Donald Trump. That's it.
And let's, what they represent, we're all falling over ourselves to praise them because it is so rare to find Republicans who actually care about what this country is supposed to be. They both care about that, obviously. They are willing to have a civil, they treat people, in this committee hearing, they're treating people civilly. We're not used to seeing that from Republicans. It's been a long time. If everyone think about the way they conduct their hearings, they're screaming at people. It's dramatics. It's hysterics. Now we have this group of civilized civil servants conducting their business in front of the country the way it's supposed to be done, so kids can look up to them and say, yes, I see why you are in charge. You have authority because you are a respectful person. Basically, you honor my vote, you honor this country, and we disagree on almost every other topic. That's okay. I don't like that, but that's what this country's about. It's supposed to be about that, but it's supposed to be conducted the way they're doing it. What is so sad is that we are all so unused to seeing that we're falling all over ourselves. Oh, Liz Cheney, you're so fabulous. I feel the same way. I watch her, I think, wow, this is so great to have someone care. Why are we in this place where that is so unusual?
Good point.
It shouldn't be. That's how they're supposed to act. That's what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and my mom just said Adam Kinzinger and his family are now being threatened.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're being. You're not going to hear the Republicans trying to get him security. You're not going to hear them wailing and crying the way they were for, Kavanaugh, who already had security. I thought they were going to absolutely just, have a meltdown over his security. Again, I don't want anybody hurt, but I'm really tired of the double standards.
I am too. And as Mark P said, thanks for the $5. I like Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger for their work on the Jan 6 Select Committee. I still disagree with their politics. That's fine. But at least we have true patriots here. I mean, and it's sad in respect to Sarah's point that why aren't we, shouldn't this be the norm to see people do something like, and this is why we're all falling head over heels for them. Finally, a Republican who's actually, speaking truth to power.
Yeah. Yeah. And standing up for this country. I mean, standing up for the Constitution, standing up for our most sacred freedom. Your right to vote.
Stupidity is going to kill us all. Stupidity is going to kill us all. Stupidity is the only reason why people like Jim Jordan and Mitch McConnell get reelected. It's pure stupidity, and we got so many people that are so easily duped in this country. It literally endangers us all. And I hate to say I don't give a shit. I call it with the way I see it. I've lived in the middle of this stuff. Donald Trump and them didn't do a damn thing for us, but these people don't care. They love Donald Trump because Donald Trump hates the same people that they hate.
Exactly. I live with them. Yes, that's exactly it.
When a state like West Virginia that's 98.6% white, it says that the caravan coming from Guatemala is the most dangerous thing and the biggest issue in America today, get out of here. Like I said this on here many times. If a guy walking from Guatemala can walk all the way to West Virginia, can't even speak English, can take your job, you made shitty decisions in life. That's on you.
And also, I really don't, where are they going to go first, people? Are they really coming to West Virginia? Are they coming to Pennsylvania? Let's look at a map. Where do you think they're going to stop first?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. If I couldn't speak English, West Virginia would be the great place that I'd like to go. Oh, by the way, those red and them checkered flags that you got, those rebel flags and all that shit everywhere. Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Why would anyone? That's not where they want to go. People want to go where there's freedom.
Yeah.
Yes.
And where they cannot be harassed and targeted. So, no, they're not going to be coming to your little,
white supremacist hole in the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
And, and then the other thing is that Liz Cheney's now asking Democrats to vote for her because she wants to beat the Trump, backed one because she's getting a lot of shit from all the Republicans. And, her and Kinzinger are getting, all these guys are turning their backs on them.
I don't think she's going to make it.
Yeah. What'd you say, Sarah?
I don't think she's going to make it. I think she's going to get voted out for this. I think she's going to be, she went into it knowing that. And, it's courage. And that's what because these people, again, how do you talk to a cult? Number one, this is the thing we've got to deal with in this country. How are we going to break through this media bubble on the right that has their people in this state of constant trance where, they don't bother to check anything. They don't believe any news except for their own.
Yep.
That's the problem, because if you could even have a dialogue with somebody and say, go check it. How many times I say that to people here all the time? Oh, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, see, because you don't really care about these issues. You don't care. Someone told you, go hate those people. You got all fired up listening to Sean Hannity and whoever else. And here you are. And then when I tell you that issue is not even real, off to another issue, just trailing off. Yep. It's not, there's no, they don't really care about this issue.
No.
They just care about the anger.
Yep. Yeah, and what's sad is that they know what they're doing. I mean, understand that we have now heard that there's a new caravan on the way. They're doing it for the 2020 elections, and the bad part about it is these people are believing this shit. What happened to the caravan in the last election? Where did they go?
I always ask that. Maybe it's the caravan from that election.
It's the same one.
Yeah,
it's the same caravan. They must have took that left at Albuquerque like Bugs Bunny did.
They took the long way, but they're here now. Oh my God!
Damn left turn at Albuquerque.
Yeah, that's to get you every time.
But it is and the one thing that I do want to point out to everybody here, because I had a friend who goes, "Oh, the hearings are all one-sided." Wait a second.
Republicans are the ones.
Every witness is a Republican.
Yeah.
People on the committee that are Republicans.
Yeah, it's one-sided. It is one-sided. The Republicans.
It's decided democracy. That's the side that it's on.
Yeah. If it's one-sided, it's the Republicans going after Donald Trump. So
and also, what? The fact that Donald Trump doesn't have the courage to show up. That's not the Democrats' problem. Why doesn't he have the courage to come and talk under oath like all these other people have had to do? That's what I want to get down to, because he, part of why he is successful with that base that we're talking about, how manipulated they are, is they think he's a strong man. And I keep urging Democrats, start talking about how weak he is and talking about how scared he is, because that's the only thing these people will understand when they start to see him. And that is one thing that's this soft authoritarianism, this soft fascism that we're going through right now. The only reason this is successful in other countries, and probably this one, is when the leader is competent and when they have people believing that under their leadership, they're going to be okay. Well, guess what? We need Democrats to stop talking about these people in this elevated dialogue where, they're trying to win people over with debate. Debate's over. Anyone that could have been won by debate is long shifted over. It's time to start talking in a way those people are going to understand. Your man's a loser. He's a sore loser. He lost an election. He's been crying about it ever since, like a crybaby 2-year-old. And that's why he's getting all these people thrown into jail, because he threw a fit that's still going on. That's what, nobody, because I talked to Trump supporters about this, and that, when you say it to them like that, they just shut up.
Yep.
Nobody wants to defend that. That's not who they stand for. They stand for the guy that's making liberals mad. They don't stand for the guy that's a little crybaby, little weak loser, which is what he is.
Hey, Sarah, is Fetterman up in the polls in Pennsylvania, or
Oh yeah. I mean, he's doing really,
man.
Yeah, he's doing really well here. And the thing is, there's more Democrats here than there are Republicans. And that's one reason I got really, getting annoyed with people trying to say, oh, Connor Lamb's better because the party wants him. Look, the party doesn't always get it right. And Connor Lamb was a great candidate for what he did. He isn't the person for this moment in time when people are mad, and you want to get people out to the vote. You want to get people out to vote, and Fetterman does that, and he will bring all the other Democrats with him, and you'll see a rise in the ticket. Just people don't even know who Josh Shapiro is, a lot of people here. But they're going to go out for Fetterman, and they're going to vote down the ticket. Go ahead.
But let me just tell you, Connor Lamb should have just stayed where he was at.
Yeah, he should have.
Connor Lamb is not no barn burner. He ain't no door kicker. I don't give a shit. I know he's a Marine. He was a lawyer in the Marine Corps. Let me tell you something. Fetterman is without a doubt the best person to move forward. Connor Lamb would have not won that race if he was the candidate.
I think so too, and I think Connor Lamb is a great candidate for what he was doing, and I think he's a great candidate for another time. But he's not for this time. Right now, the only thing that's getting people out is they want someone who's going to defend them against all of these attacks. They want somebody who's going to be the anti-Joe Manchin. You can't have somebody moderate who wants to get along with Republicans. That's not what the base wants right now, at least not here. Not in this state. I can't speak for other states, but I have noticed, because I did live in Georgia for a while, that the more out of power people are, sometimes the more extremist they are in their party. So, it's hard to say, but Georgia is less extremist than Pennsylvania is now. Yeah, you should get Fetterman on. Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah, I stutter on ours. Richard, Papa P says that can you get Fetterman to come on the show?
I can reach out to him. I'll tell you right now, it's not easy to get. Fetterman is one of the more popular candidates, so he's being hit with everything. But I mean, absolutely, I don't have a problem trying to see if we can't get him on.
Yeah,
I really want to interview him, because our website has always attracted so much of the real hardcore base.
Politicus USA, John. I'll reach out and try to see if I can't get him to come on. Obviously, I know how to get John. Sarah, connect with me on Twitter, and then send me a private message on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then I will try to see if I can get it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. He comes to our little town. Like, that's the thing that, people don't realize if they're not from here, that he has been campaigning in all of these little towns. This is how Joe Biden won Pennsylvania. This is how Obama won. You have to go to these little towns. You can't leave the little rural red towns unaddressed, because there are Democrats there. You get those people out to vote. You get Philly and you get Pittsburgh. And that's how you win.
But also understand, but you also have to, and Fetterman's doing the right thing. You have to understand, though, everybody needs to be that way, period. Understand that AOC wore out 4 pairs of shoes and beat the guy that everybody said was, without a doubt, safe. And she beat him because he never even left Washington, D.C. He thought, I got it. I ain't worried about it. That young lady ain't going to stand a chance to me. And she beat him. And that's an absolute fact. Because I remember actually being in Steny Hoyer's office, because he supported me when I ran for Congress. And that was one of the things that everybody was like, holy shit, man. He didn't even make it through his friggin' primary.
Yeah, I mean, every candidate that, Hillary Clinton did not do this when she came to Pennsylvania. She kind of took the middle for granted a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think it's a mistake. I mean, again, like you said, if you're a candidate in these times, get out there and talk to everyone. Leave no votes on the table. Don't assume just because, if everyone comes out to vote, you're going to win because there's more Democrats. There's more Democrats in this country. What good has that done us? You know what I mean? We're obviously the minority. Yeah. And, the Republicans talk about how they're the silent majority. No, they're not. They're very loud, and they're a minority.
Yep.
Democrats are the majority. and tend to be sort of these, oh, let's work everything out people.
Yeah.
I say that whole,
I say, fuck that.
when they go low, we go high. Well, that was great for them. It didn't work. When they go low, we are going to kick some butt. That's where we have to be, you know? That's
I
it.
agree. And on that note, Sarah, I end the show at 2. Plug anything that you want, Sarah, and then I'll go to Army Major.
Just follow me on Twitter and come to Politicus and sign up for our newsletter. We would love to have you as our readers.
Great. And Army Major, anything you want to plug here?
I'm going to go live tonight, Saturday and Sunday. I've been holding back because of issues with connectivity and stuff like that. We're trying to get better equipment in. Like I said, I'm living in a camper right now. But yeah, I'll be there tonight at 8:00.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. Sarah, please come back sooner than later, please.
I will. Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Remember to message me, Sarah.
I will do that.
Twitter.
Thank you.
All right.
I will.
And I'm glad to hook you guys up.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And I promise, Sarah, I can actually talk without cussing.
No worries. I can't, so fine.
But I speak fuckery well. So
You do. You speak for many of us.
oh boy. All right, see you guys.
All right, guys. I'll see you.
Bye.
Take care, Sarah.
Thank you. Bye. You too.
All right. What a great show today with Sarah Reese Jones and the Army Major Richard Ojeda. I'm hoping all of you guys enjoyed the show as much as I did, even though we're living in an archaic society that wants to take, a woman's reproductive rights away from them. I was happy to hear from both the Army Major and Sarah, because this is just crazy, people. We are living in a wacky time. And the only way that we could combat this is by getting out there and voting and doing this and knocking on doors and everything else that we could do. I'm going to be back tomorrow because I took off because of the hearings yesterday. So I'll be back here tomorrow at noon PST. And then immediately following, a beer on the balcony. I'm trying to get a comedian who I love on. So I'm working on that now, to be on the beer on the balcony at 2 right after. And that's for my YouTube members and for my Patreon members. Become a Patreon member. I'm getting close to my goal here. So patreon.com/Stuttering John. For as little as $5, you get all the beer.